Here to interview your friend for Punktastic. So, like with the new album, it's meant to be called Human and
Memory and Humanity.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Easy.
It's nice. It's nice that we can finally say it. Yeah. It's nice that we can finally say it. We've got to keep it secret for so long, but you know,
We've got it for once.
Are you happy with the tracks that?
Yeah.
very much
Happy
so.
indeed.
Have you got any particular favourite songs here?
All of them. It's hard to really choose favourites really because
Picking a favourite child.
yeah, you don't really want to do that.
True that.
That's not fair.
I guess through certain kind of days you do get ones you listen to more. There's one we're playing at the moment, which is I enjoy playing, which is Beneath the Burning Tree. That's one of the double A sets songs. It's a good song to play live. There's like a multitude of songs on the record which I listen to blow me away.
I mean, do you feel pressured to sort of, by fans, to go back to your old material?
No, not at all.
Not really. We respect everybody's kind of decision. What they may want us to do. But at the end of the day, we do this for ourselves first and foremost, and we make the music for ourselves. And
The problem is
the thing that's important.
the problem is with Casually Dressed is that so many people love that record still.
Yeah.
That if we were to try and go back and try and get that feel again, they wouldn't like it as much anyway. It'd be an absolutely pointless task. People hold it in such high regard, individually, obviously, not across the board. That it's just not something that I think we could ever match in their eyes. So it'd be pointless to even
I don't think we'd ever want to anyway.
Yeah.
We love that album too. We're happy with where that was in that time of our lives, and we've done that. So we're just doing other things.
Move on,
Yeah, totally.
But I think we're Casually Dressed as well. People seem to have this idea that it's a really heavy record, and it's not. If you listen to it, it's no heavier than ours at all, and yet everybody says it is. But it's just there's a lack of screaming, and screaming makes a record heavy.
That means our new record's heavy then.
So how has it been so far, this mini tour? Have you enjoyed it?
It's been great, yeah. It's been such a good laugh. We haven't played some of these venues in 5 years, some of them. And well, tonight, we've never played King's College before, so it's nice going back out to places that were very familiar to you then, and places that felt like huge rooms. When we were coming up and going back to those and realising that these were the shows where people were right in your face and the atmosphere was really intense. It's really nice to go back to it actually. I'm really enjoying it.
We specifically requested each venue. There was an initial plan of where we were going to play, but we actually I think changed pretty much most of them and said, well, no, we don't want to play there. We'd actually rather play here. And that's why they've been so fun, because there's a lot of sentimental value with the venues, and
Apart from the London one, which I've never been to before, but it's
sentimental in the way that after watching a vintage AC/DC performance on the BBC from King's College when we were mixing our last record, it was somewhere that I definitely fancied playing at some point. So
we knew it was a kind of a legendary and
Right.
Well, then, yeah.
purely for that
Feels
reason.
like good, actually.
yeah, it's because of AC/DC, I think, that we're playing it. So.
Thanks AC/DC.
And does that sort of do you prefer playing smaller venues or larger venues, or does it not matter?
It depends. It's it depends. I think when we start a new cycle of a record, because usually we've been kind of gone recording for 6 or 7 months usually. It's kind of nice to get back into the swing of things with more intimate shows, because it's you just get connected closer to your audience, and then as the cycle develops, you become more comfortable with playing again and playing live again and playing with each other, again. And just whatever happens, then you can play festivals and you can play bigger venues, and they all just feel like the same thing. You have the same mentality when you approach it, really, regardless of how the distance between the audiences. Just visualise standing right in front of you and you find.
Now there are elements, like me and Ryan were discussing yesterday about the differences between both. It's sort of the shows in small venues are great, but just the general hanging around throughout the day is a lot more painful in a small venue than what it is in a larger venue. There's more showers in a larger venue. There's usually catering, so you're not wandering around town trying to find somewhere to eat.
That's you can do that. Yeah.
So the bigger shows are better for the facilities, I think, definitely.
I think it's good that we can mix it up, you know, I mean, rather than being a band where early in our career we play small places and then get larger and larger, you know, we can do the larger shows, then go back to playing some smaller shows like these, and then do some bigger ones, some festivals, and then like at the end of the year we're doing some smaller shows in Wales as well, then just like a small little tour. So going back and forth from the bigger to the smaller shows is really cool.
It kind of satisfies what we want to get out of it when we play live, you know what I mean?
Keeps it interesting and exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting for us really.
Yeah, and do you really enjoy playing when you're back at home because you're like, family around?
We enjoy playing everywhere, I think.
It's like, I think regardless of the, geographical location or wherever we are, like it's just, we could have a bad show at home, we could have a, it doesn't really matter really, it's just, as long as the vibe's there and the kids are going off and everybody really is enjoying the show, then it doesn't really matter.
Sometimes ongoing shows as well can become a bit sort of a bit tiring,
stressful.
Because
you find this
because of having
stressful.
So many guests.
Yeah.
And it's like sort of trying to make sure that everyone gets in, that everybody's okay. You can sort of, it distracts you from the show a bit. So sometimes for me I find them more stressful than playing anywhere else.
It'll be good tomorrow doing it on Friday, say going back to Newport TJ's, because that was one of the places where we played some of our very first gigs, and
first show.
and even when we were in other bands, before Funeral for a Friend, we used to play those type of venues.
And see band, our favourite bands played it as well. So
I mean that was the place where we all started going to shows and things like that. It was always the place to meet up. There's a good community spirit, so that's a really special place for us teachers.
And with the now that you've got your own record label, do you plan? That's a good thing. Do you plan to sign on any of the bands, or
hopefully, maybe one day. We want to get our record out first before.
I think when you start looking at other bands, it gets a lot more complex than working with contracts to do with other bands.
I think it can be done.
Have you found you working with your own record label?
Working with ourselves, pretty good actually.
Yeah, we're quite tough on ourselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The shareholder in me always has arguments about my lyrics, so I conflict in myself.
I think it doesn't necessarily change anything the way we write, is it?
No.
So it's just sort of, it's nice to know that there's no chain of people that it gets passed along to, do you know what I mean? It's sort of, everything is on our own back.
Yes.
So.
And it's injected a bit of excitement into it as well, we're kind of working for ourselves in a sense.
I'd like us to develop the label at some point though. I think we're all have such diverse taste in music that I think it would be quite an interesting label to have really.
Yeah, I think we need to establish. Well, we're really concentrating on our record coming out and making sure everything is right with that. Maybe I'm sure there'll be some things we learn by through our record, and when we get to that point, then I think then the time is right to take on other bands, because I guess they're entrusting their careers in us, and and you don't really you want to be in a position where you can do the right thing for them as well as ourselves. So we're on a little we're on quite a steep learning curve.
There's a lot to consider.
Yeah.